How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Tesla has just lowered their prices again, and I know I typically don't talk about Tesla too much, but I feel like we need to make a video on this because the prices of the Model 3 and the Model Y are now competitive with almost every new car out there. I want to go through, show you how cheap some of these are, and walk through why I think a lot of people will be buying them soon. So Tesla has lowered the Model 3 and Model Y prices in the US by as much as $2,000. The price change affects all variants except for the new Model Y rear-wheel drive. No price changes in Canada. So for the US, the Model 3 rear-wheel drive was lowered by $1,250, along with the long range, the performance, all negative $1,250. Now the Model Y was actually decreased even more. The performance and the long range both decreased by $2,000. Now let's put this into perspective. So I was looking up some of the best crossovers here in the US, and actually, if you see here, Tesla's actually starting to advertise, which is really interesting. Starting at $36,490, a lot of people give them a lot of flack for not advertising more, and that's part of this video. I want to show you how cheap this car actually is. These cars actually are. So let's take a look. The Model Y long range, including the EV credit, starts at $40,990. This is not including any state incentives. Some states offer thousands of dollars as well. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid starts at $39,530. Honda CR-V Sport Touring Hybrid, $39,500. So all within $1,500 of each other. Keep in mind, Tesla typically doesn't have that many upgrades compared to a lot of other brands. So when you buy a Tesla, you're much more likely to not be upcharged from where you start off at. I mean, you can add a towing hitch, you can add a 7 seats instead of 5 seats, you can add a different color or different wheels, but that's pretty much it. In addition to full self-driving and advanced autopilot, that is pretty much all that they offer compared to thousands and thousands of dollars of upgrades for some of these other vehicles as well. So all within $1,500 of each other. Keep in mind, you also get the Tesla supercharging system. Now, some of these other vehicles will eventually adopt Tesla, but the Tesla charging stations. But you get a fully electric car here that has a great system already in case you're worried about charging. So there are a lot of benefits of using Tesla, and I could go on and on. The towing system is great. If you have some problem with your vehicle, they can tow you for free for Tesla as well. I could keep going on, but we'll stop it there. So I started to build a smaller vehicle as well. So not just looking at the Model Y, but if we look at the Toyota Camry, the 2024 Camry LE is the cheapest Camry you can get. It starts at $27,515. If we go back here too, there are a lot of models that are more expensive than this. This is, like I said, the cheapest one by a few $1,000s. And if you took the mid-range of these Camrys, it would be probably closer to $30,000, $31,000. But we'll start at the one that costs just $27,000 out the door after taxes and all that kind of stuff. So $27,500. The Tesla is $28,490. This is after probable savings, so that includes the EV tax credit, which next year you'll be able to get as soon as you buy it. You won't have to get it at the end of the year, so that's going to be a huge incentive for people as well. They don't have to pony up extra money right away and then have to get reimbursed later. So $28,490. This is including some gas as well and probably some maintenance. But even if you take that off, we're talking about like $32,000, $31,500. So they're only accounting for about $3,000 of savings there. It's not like they're saying that you're going to drive it 250,000 miles or 300,000 miles. It's not that much. They're not baking in that much cost savings. So a couple $1,000s. So when you consider that, you could get the cheapest Camry on the market new for $27,500. or the Model 3 for $28,500. Now, I believe if I actually built this out, there'd be a bit of a destination fee, so you're probably coming away around $30,000. So within 10% of the cheapest Camry out there, you could get a Model 3 rear-wheel drive. Now, if you want to upgrade I think that Tesla would be actually cheaper than if you got like an SE hybrid. You would be looking at 31,000, 32,000 then, compared to 30,000 for the Model 3. So really, these are cost competitive. These are the same price basically when you look at it, and their performance is so much better too. The 2023 Toyota Camry trim 0 to 60 for the LE, or the 2023 Toyota Camry LE trim is 7.5 seconds 0 to 60. Top speed 120 miles per hour. Compare that to the Tesla if you're someone that actually cares about driving. 140 miles per hour and 0 to 60 in 5.8. So significantly faster, 30% faster, 25% faster on the 0 to 60 time. Now, not too many people actually care about that. They care about the safety. They care about the cost. That is, I think, really two of the biggest things for a lot of people out there. They care about range as well, range anxiety, which most people don't actually have to drive that far on a daily basis. A lot of people don't remember or don't know that you just charge at home. So if you are someone with a house that can get a home charger, there aren't many times where you would actually have to go out and use a supercharger. I think I've used one 3 times since I've had my Tesla, and we put over 15,000 miles on it. So very few times you actually have to use it, and they still have one of the best systems out there. Maybe you have to drive a couple minutes out of your way. You can charge from 10% to 70% in maybe 20 minutes, or maybe 25, but right around 20 minutes. So it is pretty quick, and you have the better performance, safety, top in class, 5 stars. I was just talking with my wife about this, and the Model 3, the Model Y, the Model X, those are the 3 that we looked at, and all of them had near perfect or perfect safety scores, with some of them being the highest ever recorded. So you are getting a safe car at a reasonable price, and I'll show you just how reasonable that is. They have been lowering the cost. You can see this chart versus the average new car. So this is the US average car here. And of course, this is going to change. Like, it's probably slightly moving up as time goes on, or down depending on the consumer. But here just plotted the average. And you can see for a while, the Tesla Model Y was almost $20,000 more expensive than the average car. So last I checked, the average car was around $49,000 in the US, the average new car. So this was pushing $69,000 for a new Model Y. This is just back at the beginning of, the end of 2022, going into the beginning of 2023. As you can see, big price drop. So they have been lowering the prices. Now they're actually cheaper than the US average car, about $5,000 cheaper. And that's how it's going to be, because Tesla is going to continue to lower the prices. Even if there's strong demand, they're going to be able to continue to increase capacity. And this is part of their master plan. They want to make cars cheaper over time to make it more accessible for people to have clean transport. So as you can see, lowering prices, it's down nearly $25,000 from the peak compared to the average car. Now Model 3, similar story. You have to go further back though. They've been lowering prices a little bit earlier. So you can see they're about $12,000 more expensive than the average car. Then lowered prices over time. Now they're even cheaper than the Model Y, around $10,000 cheaper than the average car. And that makes sense. If we're right around $49,000, that Tesla selling around an average of $39,000 on their Model 3 would be about right if you consider rear wheel drive, and then also the normal car, the base model, or long range, or performance. Obviously, those are going to average out to just under $40,000 now. I believe they just have the long range and the performance, and then the rear wheel drive. So they change models over time. But as you can see, Model Y and Model 3 both less expensive than the US average vehicle. Model Y long range starting price was $66,000 in December of 2022. Less than a year later, down 25%. Some people take this as bearish, some people take it as bullish for the stock, but either way, it's great for consumers trying to buy the vehicles. Last thing I want to cover, according to Kelley Blue Book, at the end of 2022, the average new car costs more than $49,000, and used cars average more than $26,500. So depending on your state, you can actually get a new Model 3 for less than the average used car price. And we're still approaching on the new Model 3s, no matter where you are. The rear wheel drive is close to the average used car price in the US. We're within about 10%. The average new car, it's crazy how cheap this is getting. We're talking, again, $30,000 after delivery fees, after probable savings, compared to $49,000. So it's almost half the price, especially when Tesla comes out with their new Model 2. That's going to be even cheaper than this, so be ready. I think a lot of people will be driving Teslas here soon. And obviously, Tesla has a lot of other growth curves as well, so they are going to shift some of their profits over to those parts of their company as well, which should be an interesting thing to see. No idea how the stock is going to open tomorrow. Just interesting to see, though, how much they're decreasing prices. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you like this, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification to see future videos just like this one and videos about cryptocurrency, macro, all that. Check out Bag Tracker AI, which is the app that I'm creating to track your net worth underneath the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.